Welcome to the Embodied Empath Podcast, the space where sensitive, intuitive women learn to regulate their nervous system, heal anxiety, and live with grounded confidence. I'm your host, Valerie Lundgren. Let's begin. So, are you like me and you check your phone over and over? You reread the text messages that you receive, and you just wonder, maybe somebody's upset with you because they haven't responded right away or because of how they responded. But it's so hard to really discern what is being said in a text message. But you also have this feeling that you're completely fine, and then you're starting to spiral because someone didn't respond the way you expected. So you kind of sit with yourself with, why am I like this? And you start wondering, why do I care so much? Why does this affect me so deeply? And maybe you've even felt embarrassed by it. Like you should be more secure by now. And if that sounds familiar, I want you to know something. You're not needy, you're not broken, and you're definitely not alone. Welcome back to the Embodied Empath Podcast. I'm Valerie. And today, we're talking about anxious attachment, empaths, and the nervous system. Because what many women call being too attached is often a nervous system searching for safety. So let's dig in. So attachment is not weakness. Attachment is biology. Humans are wired for connection. From the moment we're born, our nervous system depends on relationship. We literally learn safety through connection. So when connection feels uncertain, the nervous system pays attention, very close attention. And anxious attachment is often misunderstood. People think that it might be that you're being too clingy or needy or insecure, but underneath it all is something much deeper. The nervous system has learned that connection feels unpredictable, or love might feel uncertain, and belonging feels inconsistent. And because of that, the system stays alert, always watching, monitoring, and trying to prevent disconnection before it happens. So let's talk about what's happening in the brain and body. Your nervous system is constantly asking, am I safe? Am I connected? Do I belong? These questions aren't separate. For the nervous system, safety and connection are deeply linked. And when attachment feels threatened, the brain responds similarly to physical danger. The amygdala becomes activated. Stress hormones increase. The body moves into protection. This is why relationship stress can feel so overwhelming. Your body isn't responding as if it's just a text. It's responding as if connection itself is at real risk. So what's the connection with the empaths and why we feel it so deeply? Well, empaths often experience anxious attachment more intensely because they notice everything, right? You notice changes, you notice tone change, you notice the energy shifts in a room, you notice facial expressions and delayed responses. You notice the subtle differences in communication. And because your nervous system is highly attuned, you gather enormous amounts of information. The challenge is that when the nervous system is activated, it often interprets neutral information as threatening information. So a delayed text becomes they're upset. Or a short response might become, did I do something wrong? And a change in energy always becomes they're pulling away. And not because it's true, it's just because the nervous system is trying to prevent loss. And this creates a cycle. This is a cycle. You sense this uncertainty. Your nervous system starts to activate, and you start thinking, analyzing, overanalyzing, checking, replaying, seeking reassurance. For a moment, reassurance helps. Then uncertainty returns, and the cycle starts again. The nervous system begins relying on the external reassurance to feel safe. which is why no amount of reassurance ever feels like it's enough. Because the issue isn't actually the relationship. The issue is the nervous system's relationship with uncertainty. Many women with anxious attachment grew up in environments where connection felt inconsistent. Maybe love was unavailable sometimes, and maybe it wasn't. Maybe you did receive some love, but it was just unknown. Maybe caregivers were loving but emotionally overwhelmed. Or maybe they were disconnected. Maybe there was criticism or conflict. There probably could be emotional unpredictability, or simply not enough emotional attunement. So the nervous system learned, pay attention, stay alert, monitor the connection carefully, because connection felt important and uncertain. So the difference between love and activation. This is one of the most important things I can teach. Many women mistake nervous system activation for love because activation feels intense. It feels consuming. It feels powerful. But intensity is not the same thing as security. Security often feels steady, predictable, calm, and safe. And for someone used to activation, security can actually feel unfamiliar at first. So, as you heal, something interesting happens. You become less willing to chase, less willing to overanalyze, less willing to abandon yourself. And part of you may worry, do I care less now? No. You care differently. You stop making someone else responsible for your nervous system, and that's a profound shift. So now we're going to do our somatic practice. And remember, when we're doing the somatic practices, I invite you to do this when you are sitting still, quietly in a room or somewhere safe. Please do not do these practices while driving. Okay, let's begin. So I want you to go ahead and think of a relationship or situation that has been activating lately. Notice what happens in your body. Now place one hand over your heart and one over your belly and take a slow breath in. And ask yourself, what am I needing right now? Not what they need, not what they should do. What do I need? Maybe it's reassurance or rest. Maybe it's space or compassion or just grounding. And then silently say to yourself, I can offer some of that to myself. And take another breath in. Let it go. Feel your body. This is how we begin moving from external safety to internal safety. Healing anxious attachment isn't becoming independent from everyone. It's becoming securely connected to yourself. It's learning. I can survive uncertainty. I can tolerate discomfort. I can stay connected to myself even when someone else feels distant. I can trust my ability to navigate what comes next. That changes everything. So just know that you are not too much and you're not too needy. You're not broken. Your nervous system just learned to monitor connection very carefully. And now you're teaching it something new. That connection is very important, but is not the only source of safety. So, if you've ever felt consumed by a relationship, if you've ever felt your mood depended on someone else's response, if you've ever worried that you care too much, I hope this episode helped you understand yourself a little more and gave yourself a little more compassion. Because healing isn't about needing people less, it's about needing yourself more. And if this episode resonated, go ahead and share it with someone who struggles with the relationship anxiety. And you can also subscribe so we can keep having these conversations together. You can also visit my website, valerielundgren.co, and download your free nervous system guide. And just know you deserve you deserve relationships that feel safe. But most importantly, you deserve to feel safe within yourself. I'll see you in the next episode. This episode supported you. Share it with another empath who needs it. And if you're ready for deeper work, somatic coaching, nervous system healing, or my Embodied Reset program, just visit mindfulwellness.me. Your healing is not a solo journey. See you next week.